Yeah, Ravinaka, and very good morning to you all. And as is usual with me, please allow me to just acknowledge the landowners on whose land we gather here today. Maturang sa katigoy Watulevu, Wasana Mumulevu na Trinadi, kando kayo sa katigo na namimimay soto sa katigo na namuni Manoa, namuni Soso. Nabitang no membalata na Mami Manoa, namuni Manoa. Kinantara na kinabuno Fiji, and bukuni Vivapalataki, and Kana Vivoy. I was just acknowledging the Nadi, who just lives in Denarau village as you pass to Denarau, who allowing us to gather here today on this very important occasion. And we express our gratitude and thanks. To the chairman of the Real Estate Licensing Board, Dr. Ilmo Dawi, Registrar of Real B, Mr. Penny Komandoka, and the Real B staff, permanent secretaries, I see some very senior captains of industry here today, real estate agents and salespersons, distinguished guests and speakers, industry stakeholders and partners, ladies and gentlemen. As they say in the West, Dolovina, and once again, a very good morning to you all. It is an absolute honor and a pleasure to join you here this morning. I am truly pleased to be in the company of individuals who form the backbone of Fiji's real estate sector. Professionals whose work impacts lives, shapes communities, develops its aspirations, and contributes significantly to the national economy. I extend my sincere appreciation to the Real Estate Agents Licensing Board for the kind invitation to address this important conference for the second time, I think, and for their continued dedication to upholding the standards of professionalism, integrity, and open discourse within the real estate industry. I was sitting down and just reflecting on how far we've come since we entered government in December 2022. And one of the first things I did was obviously talk to Penny and his team, and then decided to reconstitute the Real B board to ensure that governance was quite important in terms of the way forward for the industry in Fiji. And I have to say, with the leadership of the chairman, I have not been let down, and I'm so pleased that we have a board that provides advice, counsel, is very fair and transparent, and I hope that the rest of the industry can see that as well. And I felt that if we got that right, then we can start talking about more issues. The 5% commission was something that was painful to the capping. We've gotten rid of that. And so I'm hoping that over time, with more consultation, we can harness and develop more stronger and better real estate industry for our beloved country. The theme for today's conference, Building for the Future, could not be more appropriate. The future of Fiji's real estate sector is not just about bricks, mortar, and buildings. It's about shaping the way our people live, how we grow cities, how investment flows, and how opportunity is distributed. We are, quite literally, laying down the foundations of tomorrow. Now, allow me to touch on the current landscape. Fiji's economy has been growing quite well since recovering from COVID. We have been growing above our national average. Recent suggestions, particularly by Westpac, have mentioned that there may well be a slowdown in the economy, driven by obviously the trade war that's currently happening in the global economy. But having said that, so the projected, last year we ended at around about 3.8. The initial projections for this year was 3.4. Westpac is sort of projected 2.7. I'm still confident though that with the right settings, with the right pushing of the right economic levers, we may well finish above 3. And that's certainly the posture that your government is taking. The recovery, of course, is no secret, is built around very strong tourism performance, growing infrastructure investment, and renewed investor confidence. One of the things that you will see, hopefully, that will become apparent is the desire to broaden out the Fijian economy and diversify it a lot more. So there are talks about commercial agriculture that are currently underway. Commercial agriculture, one of the great things in our country is we now have major institutionals that are very focused on creating investment in those spaces. We also have an opportunity to really transform the ICT industry. And by that, I may have mentioned, and some of you may have heard me mention, the investment of Google in Fiji. It is a game changer for our country, particularly in technology. They are building cables from the west coast of America, potentially South America, Southeast Asia, into Fiji, and also from Australia. If that happens, you will attract a different kind of technological investor to Fiji, and therein also has some great opportunities for real estate as well. In terms of the Reserve Bank reports, recently they've reported up to September 2024 that new credit grew by 24.9%, which is driven by higher lending in building and construction, and you can see that when we move around the country. As well as private individual investment, particularly in the second home category. This shows that investment is picking up, gaining momentum, and we will certainly continue to create the right policy frameworks, the right regulatory frameworks, the right legislative frameworks to ensure that we do maintain the growth trajectory that we currently have, albeit with some pressure from external forces. But a deeper aspiration is to grow at 5%, which I've mentioned a few times, as has the Minister for Finance. And the reason for that is from a long-term perspective, unless Fiji tries to grow at more than the current average of 3%, we will not really be able to solve our debt to GDP challenge. And so I am hopeful, working with major institutional investors and a few things that we're doing in the trade space, talking to more offshore investors, that we can see a genuine ramp up in GDP. And if you see it hitting 5%, you will know that Fiji is headed in the right direction. I must commend RealB for the critical role it plays in licensing and setting the tone for ethical behavior, consumer protection, and sector accountability. RealB's upcoming legislative amendments, which I assure you will happen, will strengthen the legal framework for disciplinary enforcement, raise professional standards, and better deal with unlicensed operators. The board has also increased its compliance outreach and made significant progress in digitizing its systems, a welcome and timely development. To real estate agents present in the room today, you are the face of the property market in Fiji. Whether dealing with families looking to purchase their first home of business investing in commercial property, you play a pivotal role in shaping the public experiences in the private sector, in the property sector. Your commitment to professionalism, ethical practice, and lifelong learning is essential. And as we move into increasingly digital and competitive global market spaces, your adaptability and client-centered approaches will define your personal success and, of course, define the reputation of the entire real estate industry. I encourage you all to embrace innovation, continue to build trust with your clients, and raise the bar for standards across Fiji. I understand that your work is not easy. It involves deadlines, regulations, negotiations, and very often emotional clientele. But let me say this, you do matter. The professionalism you bring is what drives the industry's credibility. And I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for the work that you do every day to uplift this profession and support the economic growth of this country. To our related stakeholders who are here this morning, builders, bankers, lawyers, valuers, surveyors, architects, town planners, town councils, and of course institutional investors, you are an integral part of the ecosystem. The work of developing land, constructing spaces, securing financing, and transferring of property titles relies on deep collaboration. I also challenge all of us today. Let's build stronger partnerships. Let's move from friction points, simplify processes, and deliver outcomes that benefit the people of Fiji. Your participation today shows that you too are invested in the future of the industry and the future of this country. Your coalition government, your government, continues to invest in reforms that support a stronger, smarter real estate agency. And these include the recently launched National Housing Policy 2025-2030, which Cabinet endorsed this year. It provides a blueprint to address affordability, improve access to land, and encourage inclusive housing models. The Business Now Fiji portal continues to simplify business registration and reduce time lags for approvals. This digital shift is aimed at real estate entrepreneurs, especially smaller firms trying to break into the market. The Access to Business Funding Act, which was passed in Parliament, will offer new financing pathways to business, including those in the property and private and services sector. Apart from this, you will hear over the next few months a concerted effort to automate the building approval permit process in Fiji. It is already underway. We are working with the town councils, we are working with the Department of Town and Country Planning. And as we all know, you are acutely aware, those of you who are real estate sort of agents and also developers, the time it takes to approve building permit approvals. The intent is by the end of the year or at the very latest early next year, we will have a fully automated building permit approval process. What does that mean for the investor or for the developer? You will only have to load your documents once. Currently, I think you have to load 3 copies. Being manual, it is challenged by missing documents, missing people, missing whatever. But what we will have is an automated system where you load all of the documents once. All the agencies that are involved in the building permit approval process will get visibility immediately. And so they can concurrently process the approval And then it all merges back with the Department of Town and Country Planning, who then signs off. We're hoping that process will take 6 months or less from where it currently stands. So if that happens, there'll be more work for the real estate sector because we will be able to speed up the churn of investment in the sector. We are quite excited by it. We are working very closely with the Ministry of Local Government and all the agencies that are involved in this approval process. It will be the first major ambitious automation exercise in government. And if that is successful, or it will be successful, but when successful, it will open up doors to the automation of the rest of government processes. And so over time, I am hopeful that you can virtually do everything from your phone when it comes to government services. Wouldn't that be a nice transition over the next few years? Building for the future also means embracing resilience and sustainability. We must be mindful of where and how we build, obviously considering sea levels, environmental degradation, and the need for long-term urban planning. We are also seeing a global shift towards digital property platforms, virtual tours. These may sound futuristic, but they are already happening. And Fiji must not be left behind. I encourage you all to explore new technology and sustainable practices that can make your operations more efficient, transparent, and environmentally conscious. And having said all that, please know that you have a government that listens. And I'm certainly keen to continue to develop the industry, to create new laws or better laws that can regulate the industry. And certainly, of late, I've been receiving some notes from some of you, which I've been passing on to RealB, and be assured that those concerns or observations will be addressed as part of the wider reform that's currently underway. Let me conclude in saying this. This conference is a milestone and not just something we do every year. It is a checkpoint on our journey as regulators, professionals, and citizens trying to build a better Fiji. So let us all live here with a renewed sense of purpose, clear strategies, and stronger partnerships. To RealB, its board and its management and staff, thank you once again for leading with courage and consistency. To the agents, to all of you, and that are agents, keep going. To the stakeholders, let's keep building, and to all of us, may we rise to the challenge of building for the future. Not just in infrastructure, but in values, vision, and in national progress. With those few words, thank you for the opportunity to address you all. I wish your deliberations today to be fruitful. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave after the first session, but I will be keen to hear the progress and the observations and what we can do better. But that said, I am honored to officially declare the 2025 Real Estate Agents Licensing Board Annual Conference open. May God bless you all. May God bless the Republic of Fiji. And thank you for your attention. Namaste.